Welcome to Everyday Cooking with Ann. Today we're going to be making my fresh guacamole, which goes with all of my great Mexican dishes like my Cafe Rio type salad. Of course, my homemade chips are probably the most popular thing you could have it, along with my homemade salsa. You want to have it with that as well. And anything Mexican I make, and I will be providing you a Mexican food playlist where you can make anything fresh and Mexican. It'll impress all of your friends and family. Okay, let's get started. Here's the ingredients I use in my fresh guacamole. Of course, you want to get the best avocados you can have. You don't want them to be too old or have markings on them, so you want them to look really bright and green like this. I also put a little bit of red onion in it. It gives it a little bit of color and flavor as well. I have homemade, home chopped fresh garlic. I also have fresh limes. You want to use that, not the lime juice out of a bottle. It's going to be so much better. I've taken a little bit of my pickled jalapeno out. I keep a jar of this in my freezer to use for a lot of Mexican food that I make. And so I'm using one of those. And and here I have my own homemade salsa that we're going to use and put a little bit of that in it as well. And this is my Mexican seasoning that I use for everything. Everything from soups to salads to my Cafe Rio type salad and barbacoa. I put this in everything that I make Mexican, including my refried beans. So we're going to be using this as well. The recipe for this will be below as well to show you how we make this guacamole. And of course a little bit of salt, and here we go. And we have fresh cilantro and fresh limes as well. So let's start making our guacamole, and we're going to just take it right out of the shell here, as much as we can here. Okay, as you can see, I am mashing my avocado up nicely. I like a little bit of chunk in it too, so it's not totally mashed too much. Of course, okay, we're going to go ahead and add, I've already chopped my red onion. I'm putting a little bit of that in. And you can see I probably have maybe 2 or 3 garlic. I love garlic, and the more the better as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to put a little bit now. Jalapeno, you can put as much or little as you want. This is not too much for this dish. So I have chopped that as well. I'm going to go ahead and add half a teaspoon of my Mexican seasoning, and also a little bit of this salsa. Not too much. You can use fresh tomatoes. Roma tomatoes would be best because it doesn't have too much juice. So if you have fresh tomatoes on hand, make sure you clean up the seeds and then chop them ahead of time. But fresh tomatoes are great in here as well. I just don't have any today. And of course, cilantro in here a little bit. You want to have a nice pinch of salt that's going to go great with the fresh lime as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of this. And then I'm going to mix this up and taste test it. See if it's what I want it to be. Now I'm making these because tonight I am going to be making some homemade taquitos. This is what you could make for your next football season. Coming up is football season and you want to have guests over. Everybody loves Mexican food, things like that. So you want to have a lot of avocados on hand to make your guacamole. I'm going to add a little bit more lime juice, and then I'm going to test it. That is delicious. All my favorite things are in here. Thank you for watching,